Alright, hello, welcome back everyone. In the last episode we did a surprisingly successful raid onto reserve. Actually that went quite well. What? Oh no, don't tell me this is full too. Oh boy, we got 2 full junk boxes here. And I have very little ammo, as this is. Oh, that's not me completely forgetting I forgot to actually deal with any of this. That's fine, you guys kind of get to see how the sausage is made, for lack of a better word. So for the most part, as far as I know, we don't really need most of this. I will take the food and milk, do I want the herring? Not really. The grenades, I'll bring a couple with me, but I'll store the rest. Okay, we don't need that many grenades. Not only that, I would wager we're probably going to get our hands on some other grenades. It might be a good idea to get another one of these lying around, potentially. That's not supposed to go there, this is. Flash drive, I don't really care too much about. Ammo-wise, how are we doing? We have all this Warmageddon, so it might be worth getting. Keep in mind, it has very little penetration, but I mean, you know, just shoot him in the face, I guess. So, we'll sell this very quickly. Any money? Oh, we got 50,000 rubles sitting in our pocket. Wow. I'll just leave these here. I don't know where the AK-104 came from. That might have come from a quest in the last episode that I just completely forgot showed up. So I'll just kind of leave that there. And then we'll sell these very quickly. I didn't miss this little pistol hiding there. Okay. So we will sell this. And the very first, you know what, sure. As far as I know, I don't think there's anyone here other than Ragman who is short on money for max level rep, which is good. Now, again, I'm still not short on money, both USD and rubles, and I won't be short on money basically ever again. Because even if I buy expensive things, right? It's not a big deal because I just basically have to wait another like 40 minutes and basically do a run and boom, that's it, right? So this is not worth very much, but apparently nobody wants to buy this. So we have to make a DVL1 or DVL10 rather. Who sells the DVL10? I believe Peacekeeper, but something tells me it's locked behind a mission. No? Oh, you know what? The DVL... There it is. That is a DVL. Does he want a DVL? He wants a DVL10. Does it need to be suppressed? Let's pop from the wiki on my other screen here, and let's take a look at Gunsmith Art 16. This one is required for, obviously, the Kappa container. Now, apparently you are allowed to outright buy a DVL at skill level 3 after you complete the long road mission. So I have to go to Lighthouse and get 10 scavs, and then I can buy it from him. Which is interesting to note. But for the sake of, well, I guess just quickness, we'll try to buy a DVL10 in good condition. And you know what? That's fine. This is good condition, and it is just barely more expensive than what Skier would cost. So, fair play to you, sir. Okay, so what do we need on this thing? So it doesn't need to be the suppressed one, which is very useful to know. It has the correct rubber mold, and that's also good to know. They don't want the magazine in it. They want... What do they want here? It's hard to tell. Let me just open up the picture a little bit more. Okay. So this is another one of those super ATACR scopes that they want. And then they basically, you could just chuck any laser on here. And usually the TBL is the cheapest, the blue laser. And I think genuinely that's it. They purchase, because usually it's cheapest from the traders. Not always. Okay. And then this is probably going to cost, actually, I was expecting it to cost more. Okay, and that should be good to go in to a mechanic. Yep. Now, some of these quests do have time locks, but the thing is, I don't really remember which ones do. And one of the mods, I do remember seeing this somewhere in one of the descriptions, it can reduce or completely eliminate the time. Like sometimes it takes 21 hours to 24 hours to get the next mission. So if I completed 16, for example, this Gunsmith mission would not be available until tomorrow afternoon. So, but you get some good stuff for completing this. I'm not going to do that at this time. We might be able to do it in tomorrow's episode. Okay. I'll just sell that to him. It doesn't really matter. Alright, obviously you want to sort of be, like, to try to be your most efficient at money making. However, there does get to a point like now where it's just, you kind of don't really care. Like, this stuff I don't need. And I don't really need the money either. But it really is kind of just like whatever. Right? So I'll keep these here because I don't need to sell them right now. In fact, they probably take up less space as Bitcoin maybe, so. I was going to look at the tasks and see what we have to do. So I was planning on potentially going back to reserve. And Wrangler did actually leave a clue for classified technologies for the commander control panel that's near D2. So I was thinking about it, and you know what? We could very much do this. The problem is, and this is just sort of like, I guess just reserve in general, the safe corridor is probably not very hard to do. Obviously, you know, we've gone down there, got a few scavs in the past. This is not too bad. This one might be a little funky because they have to be physically inside the buildings, which they tend to like to come outside and try to slap you. So we'll head on into reserve at 10:30 a.m. This is a great time because we got plenty of time in, no problem. And I'll see you guys inside. Okay, where did it drop me? Actually, this is really decent place to be. Because this is where I need to be for pest control. So we almost need to sit around here for a little bit. And basically just hang about. To let scavs show up. Unfortunately, they do need to be in the building, as far as I know, which is very annoying. I am thinking about swapping the two thumb buttons for the change, just because, like, personal preference. I mean, look, for the most part, all this stuff is kind of personal preference. Well, like, for some reason, the one I have it, I accidentally wasn't paying attention, or enough attention. And this one feels a little bit less natural. But I couldn't really explain why. I was playing some not Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood yesterday with a friend of the channel, The Juice. And we had a fun time, you know, just sort of just talking and playing through the game. Truly, it is a game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a 10 out of 10, but it's a pretty solid game. And then, yeah, we just had a fun time, but there's this weird thing with the reticles, right? So if anyone knows the game, they know it has a bit of a stylistic... I just hear lots of shooting, but I don't hear any scavs in here, which is very annoying. I wonder if this mission is part of the Kappa? Or to see even if there's any, like, hints as to how to do this. Because so far our track record for this hasn't been very successful, because the AI, like the scavs, love to be around the tarmac, but they don't really like to be in this building. And then from what I remember, even from live Tarkov, is they're not huge fans of hanging around in here anyway, so I wonder if there's a way to kind of draw them in. I know I did talk about in the last episode potentially basically like shooting at them, getting them to push me, and then, you know, kiting them into the building. Seems a little silly though. We'll put semi-auto should be fine. I say we'll give it another like minute or so. And if we have no success, we will... You know what, I might actually head up into there to get down into the basement towards D2. Maybe? Or do I want to go to the food basement? You know what, we might go to the food basement. Just in case, so we can get the 2 scavs there and be done with it. Because if I spend more time in the other places, it might reduce my chance of actually getting live scavs in that basement. So I know I have my flashlight on and it draws the attention of the AI, which is kind of what I'm trying to do, but clearly it doesn't seem to be working very well. Okay. Well, that sounds kind of close, but very echoey, so it might be in the basement. In the bunker system directly below us. And you don't realize how large this helicopter is compared to some of the other ones until you run by it. Like, there's the helicopter right outside the resort on Shoreline, and that's a pretty standard Soviet helicopter. And I say Soviet, not Russian, because it is literally Soviet era helicopter. But this is massive. I wonder what helicopter this is. I'm not like I like aviation, but I'm not like a huge aviation nerd who would be like, "Hey, that is a plane." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know exactly what helicopter that is, or what kind of plane that is, and I know whose country that is because I know all of their insignia. It's like, well, hey, look, that is a cool plane. This is gonna sound real dumb, but even for like American planes, like the only one I could probably identify very rapidly would be the... Well, no, I could do the F-35 and the F-14. But I tend to... What am I zeroed in at? I tend to struggle when it comes to like... Is it the F-15? Well, no, the F-15's pretty obvious, I think. But things like the F-16, the F-18, the F-22... That's where my brain goes, I don't remember which one is which. Like, they're very obviously different. I just don't see them enough or interact with them enough to be able to differentiate in any meaningful capacity. So we're going to turn on our night vision very soon. Because it is very dark down here, if you remember. I think, let's reduce the brightness here on that. Okay. I think we only need 2 scavs down here. I'm just listening out. Now, so far, when we've encountered them, they tend to be towards like this door or in the back corners. They don't tend to be out in the middle, even though there's quite a bit of cover around the middle. We'll close the door, because I don't think you can actually shoot through that door. Not all doors can be shot through. Like usually like wooden doors can. Some walls can be shot through, but not all. Again, it also depends on your ammo as well. But the material tends to be less about bullet and more about material. I do have some of the keys for these lockups, which is good. It means I can access some of these. And a complete random note. I just realized, because I was seeing this, it reminded me of the air filter. I would wager my air filter is now like empty. I'm no longer getting any benefits from that. A bit of a shame, but it's not the end of the world. That should be good for food and water. I mean, I don't want too much. Are they double? I think they are. So if I go to this one, yeah. It's the same cage, just a different door. So this is a scav. We'll take his shotgun, I guess, for like obviously, you know, the backup. Oh no, gun, right? I'll even take the extra ammo, I guess, in case I need it. 'Cause I could drop it if I really needed to. Like I'm not. It doesn't really matter to me. Where are all the scavs? Why are they not here? What? Okay. How did he get here? Because none of those doors, as far as I know, are open. I closed the side doors. So he must have just spawned in, which is not great. Now, what did he have? A PPSH, okay. Sure. Grenade. The PPSH is pretty good as sort of a backup weapon, but it does kind of require... I'll take that too, actually. It's a pomegranate juice. It does require more magazine space, whereas this can be really devastating. Especially if you put it into double barrel mode as opposed to one at a time. So you just hit them with both barrels. Assuming you land your shot, that is. Okay, so I think we only need one more. Yes. Okay. I don't like the fact he spawned down here. I wish he was already down here, or he stumbled in here, but like both of these doors that I closed are still closed. Maybe. We'll put it in single fire. I'll fire a shot, and maybe I can drag one in somehow. I don't know if that'll work. It wouldn't surprise me if it does, because, I mean, heck, the AI tends to be drawn, like, if they can be drawn... Hang on, am I really weighing that much? No, surely not. Well, I guess the axe is quite heavy. Sorry, the AI tends to be drawn to loud noises. Maybe if I open these... I kind of doubt that the doors being closed breaks their pathfinding, because they should be able to navigate it no problem, period. But it's possible, I guess. Oh, that's bright. Well, of course it'd be bright. It's outside. It's probably only like, maybe, I want to say at the latest 11:30 outside. We eat some peas while we wait. We'll give it another, let's say about a minute. Maybe 2 minutes. And if there's nothing fancy going on, we head over to the other bunker system. And we try to find some renegades. We go looking for that tank control unit. Oop. Oh no, that was just the... Oh no. That looks a little different somehow. What light is this? Oh, it's that floodlight, okay. I saw a clip on Instagram the other day about somebody playing the Outer Wilds. And that's not Outer Worlds by Oblivion, or, what is it called? I was gonna say Oblivion, Obsidian Studios, the guys who made Fallout New Vegas. But it is the really cool like time repetition game, as far as I know. Like I don't know anything about it, and I think I do own a copy of it somewhere. So it'd be a pretty good idea, maybe to play through that at some point, like maybe on a one-off stream. I mean, I still have to play through Sniper Elite 5. And in all fairness, I've been a little lax with my recording. Or not recording, my streaming. We'll give another about 30 seconds, and then if nothing happens, we skedaddle to the other bunker system, and then we might do a quick visit over here later. And that's because I've just happened to be particularly busy the last couple Saturdays, which is kind of strange, because usually when I'm doing stuff on Saturdays, it tends to be earlier in the day. So, you know, it's just, it's very strange, but I mean, it is sort of what it is. Sure, let's head over to the other bunker system. Excuse me, sir, could you not have, like, gone into the food storage? You had to just sit there like a dingus? I'm wondering if Bluecar is around? I kind of hope he isn't. Because he can spawn with all sorts of basically anti-dark things. And by that I mean he can have... Oh, I heard something suppressed. Maybe like a suppressed AK somewhere? You can kind of hear the difference with the weapon platforms. Which is why I'm saying, like, oh, I hear an AK, because there is a very distinct sound that the AK makes versus an M4, or even any of the other families of rifles or weapons in this game. And that's purely based on just sort of the sound of the bolt, which sounds stupid. You're like, what do you mean the sound of the bolt? But genuinely, the way that the bolt sounds when it slaps back onto the receiver and the dust cover, it genuinely does sound very different from other weapons. The thing is, I unfortunately am not enough of a detailed person to know. I do know that there are people who could tell me what kind of AK it is specifically. I could tell you if it was an AK or a suppressed AK, but unfortunately I'm just not quite experienced enough to tell you if it's a 545 or 7.62 AK. Like, I could take a guess at it, but I couldn't tell you for certain. Well, I need to go turn on the power so I can get the D2 ready. Okay. Try to be very, very cautious in here, because I'm not super familiar with fighting raiders. And that just sort of stems from the fact that I never really played labs very much, because there was a lot going on. And back in the day, my PC had a very, like, I was running basically a random PC we bought at Costco that we stuck a 970 in. So it didn't run everything super well. Like, I could run stuff on low, but some games even on medium, depending on how optimized it was. But Tarkov, it did struggle, especially on the bigger maps. So Any of the maps that I would have played back then, it would have been closer to like factory or customs. Little bit of woods, but not very much woods, because I really disliked that map at the time, because it didn't run very well and it looked kind of horrendous, and I just kept getting slapped every time I tried to go there. So I was just like, I don't like the map. So I have to keep going this way. Now apparently it should be through this door to my left somewhere. So he said it was between or near some pipes. I don't have the comment up near me now. But okay, it looks like it's somewhere in this room. I kind of wish that they mentioned what it looked like. That it? No, that's a piece of wood. What am I looking for? Like, it's just a command module, so you'd think it'd be something quite noticeable. Maybe I'm looking too far down? No. Unless it's below me and the map is not telling me the right place. That's very possible. Oh, this looks like definitely more of a place it would be. Problem is, I still don't know what it looks like, though. Oh. Oh. It's a giant box. And you know what? Like, just like Wrangler said, it's between two pipes. I just didn't expect it to be such a large box. Thank you, Wrangler. Really appreciate it. Do I want to go look around potentially for renegades? No, not particularly. Box of ammo. You know what? Actually, I will take it just because it's cheap. Well, I mean, it's free if I can get out with it. And it's not terrible ammo. You know what? I probably... Oh! Bad time to reload. Now that looks like a raider. That is a raider. So you see, he's not quite as beefy as a PMC. Right? Like with what he's wearing. Man, that hurt. But he is definitely, like, distinguishably different. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got an armored rig and everything. Basically, they're like a PMC light. He's got good meds, actually. I don't remember if that one's worth anything or not. I keep forgetting my guy is actually wearing a mustache. Oh, that's so funny. He's wearing a mustache under everything. You know, I don't really care about that. So that is... So we know for a fact there are raiders around. Unfortunately, he wasn't in the right place for that to count. Because of course not. You'd think it'd be the entire underground complex, but no, the game decided it has to be a very specific area. Hang on. Thought I heard movement below me. Man, that definitely scared me. Of all the times I go to reload, it happens to be right in front of a raider. But I did hear full auto fire earlier. That's just a scav. That looks like a raider though. What does he have? Yep, this is definitely a raider. Again, I heard somebody shift to my right. I swear I did. Like, you know the sound when you turn without walking? He makes like a scuffling noise. I know I heard it. But kind of like that. Like that one was me, I know. But I know I heard that somewhere. Shoot, that's a PMC. I could have thrown a grenade at him. And I might even throw a grenade out that way in general. Hopefully that rolled properly, but I'll take cover behind this just in case. Man, those fuses very long. Fuel conditioners are good to have. I'll probably go find a place to take cover very, very quickly. And repack some of my magazines. I do know my flashlight is on. I'll probably turn it off in a second. Yeah, so that's the scav who presumably took out that raider. Okay. Looks like before... Ooh, there he is. Uh-oh. Yes! That was a very risky throw, by the way. Okay. So that's a second grenadier kill. That's good money. Oh man, I'm happy with that. That was very good. You see the grenade did a lot of damage. Well, I mean, like, I'm sure he was in the firefight because it looks like there's a rogue right beside us. But like, you see his stuff is pretty damaged. Okay. I'll probably drop this because I don't really need to be carrying it. The rooster's nice to have. And I probably will eat some squash. Can I do that while I'm doing this? No, it doesn't really look like it. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is most definitely a raider. I mean, there are obviously bigger backpacks, right? But that being said, some backpacks, like this backpack is fine. I'm not fully here for loot anyway. But all these meds are so good. Oh, shoot, my injector case is full. It's fine. A second injector case, question mark? Got a shotgun and a 226. This guy had the shotgun on him and a 226. But he didn't have the shotgun shell. So he had the shotgun and the pistol. But he wasn't the one who was, he took them off that raider. I am genuinely really pleased with how that grenade went. Because it's the impact grenade, right? That could have just straight up blown up in my face. Which, as you can imagine, is not ideal and not something you want. So this is going to have a lot of space because, I mean, heck, we use one of these to hold all our ammo boxes and everything, right? So, does he have any good ammo in here? It looks like FMJ. It's not. It's not good either. Drink the milk. Ooh. Stop. I'm pretty sure I heard somebody. So there's extra grenades lying around. Take this, I kind of need it. Do I want to try for... Like, D2 is technically good to go. It might be worth trying to make my way out and going to the other bunker system. Just like I said, it's a quick run too. Either just sort of blindly run there without checking any corners or anything. Turn that flashlight off. Do I have to go from here? Basically out and hook to my left. I don't really care about pest control too much right now. I hear an AI somewhere back there. There it is. Okay. Switch back to single. And we'll go towards the railway, just because it's the most open and easy to see enemies in and around. I grabbed that AUG. I don't know why. Ooh, somebody's shooting at me. Sounded like it's from behind me, but it didn't sound loud. Like it sounded kind of muffled. Almost suppressed, but not quite. I'm tempted to drop the AUG because the ammo's not good. It's it was in okay condition, but I don't really need it. Like if I wanted an AUG, I'll just buy a new one. You know what I mean? Like the game, the way it works with durability at this point is it very sort of heavily disincentivizes if a weapon is even a little bit broken. Because of how the weapon jamming and everything works, it almost feels like it's never worth taking a weapon that isn't like 90% durability and above. Like, sure, I can sell it and everything, but like, if I need to use it, it could actually jam on it. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, everything has a chance to jam on you, but like, it's basically... Sorry, that's a... valve. It's basically negligible if it's above like 95%, right? But a lot of the AI tends to not have good durability weapons, and they need to be repaired, which costs a not insignificant amount of money. You're telling me no AI showed up after this? After all this time, not a single AI wandered into here? That's weird. We got like 8 of the kills in 2 different raids. Now we only need 2 left, and they're like, "Now we're good, thanks." Really? Do I want to go to D2? No? Maybe the hermetic door isn't going to be too bad. Basically, I got to run down the street, hit the first major right. Oof. It's not great. Ooh. Gonna try to flank around so I get a better visual. Oh my god. That train scared me. I'm gonna disengage from those guys. What the hell? Oh. What the heck? This guy has an oddly kitted out AKS-74U. That's very bizarre. This guy was aiming up in the middle of nowhere, which is why it took me so long to figure out where he was going, because he was shooting, and I couldn't see any of the muzzle flash because it was all directed up into the sky. This is a suppressor for 7.62. Not a bad idea. I don't know what that is, but I don't want any of it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's suddenly like hell on earth. I don't have a Red Rebel pickaxe yet, but I might be able to buy one. And that way I can use paracord to get out. This seems like a really horrendous idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. I gotta run back across to where I was. See, that's an AK. And it's gonna sound stupid, but you can tell because that's the way the AK sounds. Like the AK family. That's like I said, very, very distinct sound. Even if I hit the... Yep, eyes on. Shoot, the longer I'm dealing with this guy, the worse it is. There you go. Because you don't get a whole lot. I think you get about 3 minutes, give or take. Oh boy. About 3 minutes, give or take, with that alarm going off. Take a couple pot shots over there. Okay. If I was feeling very cheeky, I might actually go into the basement in the bunker here for a second. Does that tell you how long you have? No. I'm not seeing any enemies down here, and I don't feel like pushing it too much, so I'll just go around here and go back up. Because this is the bunker door. Yeah, see the light screen. This is one of the more awkward exfils. Because it's very dark over here, but it's very bright the other way. So you put on a flashlight, they can see. If you put on your night vision, you blind yourself one way, and you don't blind yourself the other way. So hopefully we get out. Okay, good. It got really hectic there at the last second. 37 minutes. 12 enemies. Well, yeah, see, there was one raider we got. 3 bears. I didn't loot the first guy. Where was the first guy? Whatever. I'm not too bothered by that, so. That went quite interestingly. Character. I will definitely sort through this afterwards, because there's plenty to sort through. Might need to buy another junk box, so if you come in and I have another junk box, now you know. But other than that, this stuff I'll have to deal with afterwards. So, let's go turn in that mission. I think it's Peacekeeper, right? Yes. Next raid, I think we're going to go make a quick interchange run. And, you know, basically go for some scavs. That sounds like a good idea, in my opinion. I don't want this backpack. Actually, can I hand this backpack into him? I think he's looking for... Yeah. Okay. And we can sell him some stuff, because we're about 200 grand short for him, but that's fine. And we can buy packets, no problem. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. If you guys like what you saw, leave a like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, share with all your friends. Thank you to all my subscribers. Slowly but surely, we are getting closer and closer to my goal of 100 subs so we can play Dark Souls 2. God help me. And I will see you guys in the next episode, where, again, we will be going to Interchange for sure. Okay. Bye.